Yay, welcome everybody to another episode of The World of Pets with Patty Ernest. And this week we are lucky to have a couple of other new guests on with us. Zach and Adrian Clayton from Colorado. So the World of Pets is part of the World of Ability Podcast Network and was started about a month or so ago. And is about Patty and her pet sitting business. And so we're gonna kind of have a discussion about that, along with connecting it with what Zach and Adrian do and that kind of thing. So I'm gonna hand it over to you, Patty, for you wanna kind of introduce yourself or anything, get started here a little bit.
Well, thank you, Emily. My name is Patty Ernest, and I'm owner manager of Patty's Pampered Pet Sitting here in the Phoenix area. And I've been pet sitting for 28 years. I was nominated National Pet Sitter of the Year. And I love taking care of pets. I love taking care of fur babies and their parents, helping them out whenever I can. And there is somebody who needs to be introduced this evening that has not been introduced yet. And his name is Kurt Roskopf, and he's the one who got this started. He spearheaded it.
Okay, would you like to say hello, or do you have anything you'd like to say?
Doggone it, yeah, I would. I'm happy to be here at the World of Pets. Grateful that Patty was game for producing a show such as this and gathering us animals all together. So we're gonna have a doggone good time here. We're gonna pack this full of see, we're playing to the crowd, folks. So we got Zach in the crowd. We gotta work with these one-liners. So but yeah, we're folks that got connected through something called the Happy Neighborhood Project, spreading happiness around the world. And so we're going to try to infuse some of that philosophy of happiness here in the hour. So it's a little bit of a happy hour. So you decide what you want to do with that. All right, with that, back to you, Emily. Emily, we're going to bring it back to you. What's next, Emily?
So I guess we could bring in Zach and Adrian if you want us to say kind of who you are, what you do. And
around after a lot of dogs right now.
Connection here.
Yeah, we just run around after a lot of dogs right now. We went from not having any dogs to where now we're owners of 4 different dogs.
No.
11
Only
fish.
Are ours. No.
Yeah, whatever. They're all in our bed right now. So
Till mom and dad come home. That's all. Nope.
So, but yeah, we just a little bit ago, you got before the show started, we had Ghost up here, and Ghost was a rescue from.
Wait.
Yeah, he's asleep. All right, but Ghost was a rescue from our local humane society. Let's see if we can. There he is. So that was a nice evil eye on there. So,
okay.
But he's one of our 2.
There you go.
And he's a Dalmatian lab mix.
He's a Dalmador.
Dalmador. There you go. And then we've also got ourselves a Greyhound and Border Collie mix.
Which should never mix. That should never happen. Ever. Ever. The Border Collie needs a job. The Greyhound just wants to run. So it makes for a really, really bad house pet.
Yeah. And then of course we got Ghost there, who for Christmas we're trying to buy him a slower tail. So because he loves trying to catch his tail, and he He does it every once in a while. It looks like it hurts, but yeah, we're thinking about buying him a slower tail so he can catch it more often. So
He catches it and he chews on it. I'm surprised.
They
It's
choose
not.
us.
Yeah, give me.
but yeah, we got tons of fish and tarantula, and there's a cat running around here. Oh, 2 rats too, huh? We got 2 rats upstairs too. So
Not ours. Not.
yeah.
I take
So-
care of them.
Is it,
not
yes,
ours.
Zach, you went from a tarantula, I don't know how many months ago, 6 months ago
Yeah.
to, now
Yeah,
you're,
we
now
had
you
a
have a,
tarantula. Yeah, we
now
had a
you- now you have a
tarantula and a
zoo.
stray cat. That was it. And
yeah, now you have a zoo.
We will have a ferret and we will have a bird. He is against the bird, but we're gonna have it because I like birds. I'm not scared of birds. He's scared of birds. So
What's up with that?
that's why
Zach?
I want a bird. We're gonna get a bird.
birds are evil. That's why.
Mm.
So no, one of the things that we do, after I was in an accident 8 years ago, I started a company called Community Pay It Forward. Adrian and I work really hard to try to help people who need help. And one of the it's not just people. We support the Humane Society. We support places like Weld County Rescue Dogs. And to where
Place.
yeah, yep, Chris Pease,
Yeah.
Chris Pease Pig Rescue, just places that, our whole goal is to try to make it to where if you've got something with a heart, we want to support you. There's so many things that get left alone or left out in the cold, and it's truly one of those things that our philosophy is if you're not helping someone, you're hurting everyone. And, we want to make sure that, we put it out there to where, pets are people too, right?
They're actually better than people. They don't talk
Mm.
back. They love you unconditionally. And
They don't talk back. I
They-
think we can just leave it right there. So,
there's no grudges. You can't hold grudges against anything that doesn't talk back to it. Ooh,
so, boy, my desk is just falling apart today.
it is.
So.
We're gonna leave it right there.
But yeah, our goal, like I said, is we work with small to medium businesses all over the world. And once you shop with them, if you turn in a receipt to us, they give us a referral, and that referral becomes a donation to something that you, as the customer, love and support. Something like the Humane Shelter or Chris Pease or even as you guys will see there with Kurt and Emily, Project Die Hard. They're one of our mission partners. We work really hard with them. So we're just trying to build a database of people who want to make their business become more than just selling things. They want to become part of a solution, because everybody sitting here right now knows that there's a huge problem, and if we don't try to find a solution, then we're not fixing the problem. So
Betty, did you say just right before we started that you had something you wanted to talk about? I don't know, collaboration, or I thought there was something
yeah.
you said that you said you wanted to. You want to say anything about that?
Yes, Emily, thank you. Before we do, I just want to introduce my gang here too. Magic, who was climbing my leg just now, she is the shyest cat I've ever met. Somebody comes over, she hides under the bed. Daisy, who was also nudging me, she is my Rottweiler mix, who was supposedly a hound, and she's a rescue too. And Ina's sound asleep on the bed. So I just want to introduce them as well. And so there's one big happy family of pets here. And Zach, through a meeting called Blitzer, 10X, that meets on Tuesday afternoons. For those of you who are interested in joining, it meets at 4 o'clock Phoenix time. You'll need to check your calendars to see what time, but blitzer.com. Zach and I were connected. And Adrian, we just met last week. And Zach, you have some very interesting perspective on collaboration between, between Patty's Paper Pet Sitting and what you do as well. You introduced it, and I would like for you to please explain further about, what you do and how we can work together.
Well, what we're trying to do is we're trying to get it to where, you know what, we're going to introduce Patty, and obviously you're in the Phoenix area, or you're in the Arizona area. I'm sorry, I said Phoenix. It was the first thing that
No,
popped
it
up.
is Phoenix.
Okay, yeah,
It is.
you're in the you're in the Phoenix area, and what we'd like people to do is shop small, shop with Patty, and if you would take and hire Patty as a pet sitter, and we're gonna take and we're gonna promote Patty and tell people about what she does and introduce her and tell the story, because Patty, you got quite a story. You've been doing this for at least an hour or two, and so this is something that we like to tell people what you've been doing. We'd like to tell your story. It's one of those things that we truly think that a story, everyone has a story, that somewhere in that story it can change your life, change someone's life. And if we don't tell that story, it goes unheard. And who knows who could have really used that information. And so, what we do is we try to come together. We try to make it to where we introduce people, because we all know, when we walk into a store, if we walk into a store and the person's sitting there and they're talking on their phone and picking their nose and they're just ignoring us, it's rude. I'd rather get to know somebody, and when you get to know them, it's easier to shop with them. You create that kinship, you create that partnership, and once you know somebody, you're just going to want to shop with them. You're going to want to get your friends to shop, and we're building this together to where, people like Patty, people like all of our other partners, all we're asking you to do is shop with them. They give us a referral, and 80% of that referral goes to a cause. And you tell us who you love. It's not, we're going to tell you, you need to support this cause. You tell us who you support. So
This is very valuable, Zach, because I wish I had a nickel. All right, with the price of inflation, I'll make it a dime. But I wish I had a
yeah, but now
dime.
it's back down to 3 cents.
Okay.
So
Okay. All right. Or I wish I had 3 cents for everybody who has said to me, I wish I'd heard about your service sooner. Do you know how that makes me cringe to hear that? It's like, what do I need to say and do to get the word out there? So what you do is provide a very valuable service for that.
it is one of the worst things in the world when it comes to small business, small nonprofits, anything is there's, as a small business owner, and my wife was a small business owner in New Mexico before she moved up here and gave up that fancy life to be with me. She
Wow,
she
you
was,
must be privileged.
yeah. It was a lot of, well, I'm not going to say what it was a lot of, but but it's just, as a small business owner, you spend so much time trying to perfect what you do. And if not perfect, just get it to where it's, livable. And when you hear somebody say, God, I wish I would have known about you before this, it can be downright traumatic, because, you're like, well, what else do I need to do? I mean, it's still illegal to beat people over the head and tell them, hey, I'm here. So let's,
It is.
well,
Oops.
yeah. So, but one of the great things about what we're trying to do is that all of our mission partners, they really need people to shop with our partners. So what we do is we ask them, hey, why don't you meet people like Patty? Why don't you have a conversation? You guys can get to know each other. You guys can get to work off each other. Patty, if you know nonprofits, bring them on in. Let's all work together. We can get this done to where we take networking and we've created something where we're all networking together. And even people who are doing the same thing, they can work together to make other people's lives better. You know, it's truly a way that, you know, we saw so many people in Colorado during the forest fires and during the floods go out of business. I have so many friends who went out of business, and it's just because they couldn't, nobody knew about him. And this is one of those things that, you know, we're trying to work with all these businesses to where we simply ask them to do one thing: do what you do. Do business. Give us a referral if somebody comes to you from us. And we're going to take that referral and we're going to turn that referral into something that helps other people. So, and we're going to let you tell us what matters to you. It doesn't, you know, we're not going to tell you what matters to us. You tell us, out of the people who have asked us for help, you choose. So, and it gives it that more of a personal touch.
Sounds good. Great to me.
Have you done an interview with Patty yet?
Yeah.
You did? Okay.
Oh,
We're
not
doing it right now.
not for PACT, we haven't.
Oh,
So-
okay. Oh,
We're doing it right now.
yeah, well, yeah. So do you limit yourself to certain types of animals, or do you like do any of them?
Well, I do have a tagline. Almost everybody, but no snakes, Gila monsters, or unruly husbands. So that means
That's
that
my
rules you out.
thing.
Yeah.
She was thinking I was going to get a walk-in tonight.
Have you ever had to sit for horses?
I have said for the oldest living horse in Central Florida at that time. His name was Bandit, and his parents were traveling. They were working in a different part of Florida, and so they were only home on the weekends. I lived down the street, and they needed somebody who would go over and make sure that he had his hay, his feed, his water, you know. And my husband was around at the time, and he would go over and help muck the field. We weren't required to do that. He did that out of the goodness of his heart. So yeah, and also there was a fire that broke out across the street. Yes, we were there from afternoon until into the evening when they contained it. We had already made arrangements of a trailer and so forth. If anything happened that the fire jumped the field, jumped the street, that you know, we're on it. So and we had neighbors that could help out as well. So yeah, I have taken care of a horse before. I also took care of, well, I didn't take care of, but I helped feed 6 horses that were part of an equestrian therapy program up in North Idaho when I was up there. There were horses, there were Nubian goats, there were donkeys. So and the thing of it was that the oh, what do they call them? The showers, what do they call the people?
Farriers.
Who,
The farriers.
the farriers. Thank you for that. The farrier was having difficulty with the goats and with the donkeys. I just started opening my heart to them, and he got him to the point where they were no longer against the wall. He was able to work with them easier. So yes, I have had some experience with them.
So how old was that oldest horse?
He was over 30 years old,
Oh, wow. And still standing?
still standing, still going
That-
strong. He would see us. All he would need to do is see us, and he would just from seeing us. And
Yeah,
we would
no,
go over
I've
twice
had
a day.
horses and that old, there's no, I couldn't even imagine trying to do anything with them at that age.
We would go over twice a day and spend as much time as we possibly could. Now, picture Central Florida in like January, February, when the weather got cold. Okay. We attempted to put a coat on Bandit. We're not talking Idaho, we're not talking Indiana, you know, we're not talking Denver, we're talking Central Florida. He loved to get out of that coat. We fixed that coat so many times. We probably had 3 different coats for him by the time we got done. And he would wear them for a little while and then he managed to get out of them. And my favorite thing was attempting to give him a bath. Because of course, after you give them a bath, they have to roll in the dirt. You know, they're kids, you know, they like to roll, right? They straight to the dirt afterwards. So the bath was almost futile. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with them. I miss him to this day.
They are fun. I loved having horses. I just realized I'm a little too old to fall from up there to down there. And that was the end of that. But yeah, and they're very expensive. So that was the end of
I
that.
never rode him, Adrian. I never rode him. I would just go over and spend time with him and he loved it and he loved nuzzling and yeah.
Dude, they know your personality. They know what you intend to do and what you don't. And they know if you know them or if you don't. And they will play it every time.
Animals know instinctively whether it's somebody they want to get to know or not. They're not like people. People have to do the sniff test. You know, they find out whether they can trust. You know, they know with the first sniff test whether it's somebody they want to know or not. You know, and I enjoyed him tremendously. I miss him a lot. To answer your question about whether Zach and I have done an interview, informally we did it through Blitzer. And again, for those who may be listening to this, if you haven't been on Blitzer, Jason Club is the organizer. You know, it's a good program to be involved with. Always looking for new people to join us on the platform. And he would definitely appreciate hearing that I'm plugging him right now.
Yeah, I work upstairs, 3-story, well, 2 stories in a basement. So I work upstairs and I don't get to see or hear a lot of what happens because, well, now is the year end and people going to college are finally, you know, putting in their applications and whatever else. So I'm working 12 hours a day for the next few days, but you know, I usually work till 3 o'clock and I miss a lot of the stuff that goes on. So I have to try to catch up later. And so I'm asking everybody questions. What's going on here? I don't know how much he's told you. I'm a paranormal investigator. So I, you know, have people around the world that I can, you know, talk to. And I can think of right now at least 5 that I know in the Phoenix area. So we go investigating, you know, during the summer quite a bit. So I have a feeling that there's a few people that would enjoy a pet sitter.
Oh, good. Thank you. So what do you do when you say paranormal investigator? What exactly does that involve?
To put it crudely, I guess I chase ghosts. I do the paranormal. So far I'm only into the ghost part of it, the spirits, the, you know, things like that. I have not gotten into Sasquatch and Bigfoot and Mothman or whatever else there is. There's enough to learn about, you know, spirits that I'm not going that far. But, you know, all of our little circle, everybody does something different. Last year we were in Salina, Kansas with ghost hunters. Mustafa came in. He's a good friend. He's amazing. But, you know, you get to learn and meet a lot of people, if nothing else, even if you know, don't find anything, which I haven't found yet that I haven't found anything, but, you know, you meet so many people in so many locations, and the history of the locations is what's most important.
She found me.
And for those of you who are into real estate, the real estate agents, the realtors out there, stop me if I'm wrong. I think I have this correct. That having a ghost living in a house is one of the few things that you absolutely need to disclose to your potential clients. I
No,
think I have it right.
no, but you do have to disclose if somebody has passed away there.
Okay, I have it backwards then.
Yeah, you do have to
Okay.
disclose if they passed away. If there's any paranormal activity, you can just say, I don't know, somebody's passed away here, that's all I know.
haven't- I
That's
haven't-
when you
I
go,
haven't
no,
done
it's an electric, it's just an electric can opener. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
It, yeah. So,
I'm just learning about real estate. I have a license, but I obviously don't use it. I've attended the classes. I knew there's 3 things that you have to disclose. If such and such happens or such and such is known about a property, short of that, you don't have to say a word.
I don't know what all the qualifications are. I just know in the states I've lived in that you have to disclose if somebody has passed away there, if they
Okay.
ask.
and I think
But if they don't ask,
crime, I think if it was involved in a crime, you also have to.
okay, I didn't know
Uh,
that.
So like a violent crime or something, I think you have to let people know. I'm
Well,
not.
a violent crime would include death, I would think.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
that's
if-
still on the
if it
same
is.
page.
So a rave.
Sure. Look,
Zach.
is it warm enough for you to sleep outside? Because that's where you're headed.
Look at this. We're on a pet show and I'm in the dog house.
See ya.
And that's something about pets. You know, I don't know how many people even know about this, but pets in the paranormal, they'll see it before you will.
Yes.
They will look at walls, bark. I have seen videos where people, you know, they have those little pet cams and all of a sudden they're seeing things, chasing things that aren't there. Yeah, if my dog does that, we're gonna have a problem because we're gonna have to do a house cleansing and they're gone.
Yeah. We've got one dog that we wonder, she does not like the middle floor.
And
She-
we're not discussing that. We're not. She's just crazy, and that's we're gonna leave it at that.
So, but she's kind of like your cat. Anytime anybody new comes in, she has to hide. You know, when we first brought her into the house,
I don't know what happened to this girl. I really don't, but she just hides, cowers, doesn't like strangers. I don't understand. Something has happened to her.
but she jumped up on my leg, back behind my leg, and she hugged my leg. I mean, I was trying to introduce her to somebody, and she jumped up and she hugged my leg, and I'm like going,
And you
Oh,
only
that's
had her
weird.
20 minutes.
yeah,
when
I'd
she
only
did
had
that.
her 20 minutes, so you know, but I'm good with that. Yes. So
She's your dog, that's for
she's
sure.
my baby girl now, so yeah. But so Kurt, I found it very interesting that as soon as they were talking about sheep and donkeys, that's when you came back into the conversation.
Yeah.
What?
Good observation. So, wait, you wondering if I'm Democrat or something, or what?
No, I was just actually wondering if, you know, we were talking about like family or something, you know, maybe a good time, you got to ride
Stop
like,
right there. You need to stop right there.
you got to ride like a water skiing donkey or something.
Ooh, that would be cool.
Oh, God, giving
For now, you
two
just
ideas.
need the
Don't
water.
go in the water.
Yes.
Good luck.
So
Try that with you. Let's see if you can get a donkey to go in the water for you.
Why do I have the funny feeling if anybody could do it, it'd be Zach?
He would have to physically force that thing in there.
I'm going to tell you something. If a donkey sees me coming for it and it's going to be like, oh, that thing's going to sit on me, I'll get a donkey in water. That donkey's going to run from me. It's going to be like, he is not putting that fat thing trailing behind him on my back. It ain't gonna happen. That donkey would run into water. So,
No. But you would get kicked in a hurry.
well, yeah, probably. So, but
Yeah, we need to get you involved with other animals than what you are comfortable with.
my animals are made out of steel. I'm okay with that. I like my steel horses.
Well,
So-
you can't control those, obviously.
I can't control the ones that bite either. So, but
Good personality, calm, they're fine.
I'm screwed.
Yep.
So, yeah, one of the things that just over the years, and especially over the last year, just talking to JR, he's talked to us multiple times about, how he and we have the same kinship, him with horses and myself with motorcycles, because it's kind of one of those things that, you can really lose yourself on one, to where you're sitting there and everything just goes from head down and just kind of melts away. And it's just, to me, it's really surprising that there's maybe not the soul in a bike, but I'm really, that's one of the reasons why I love motorcycles so much, is I can hit a highway and next thing I know, I'm in Kansas and I'm like, "Whoa, oops, I made a wrong turn in Albuquerque."
Emily knows somebody in Kansas too.
If you went to Albuquerque and ended up in Kansas, you were drunk
We're
for
not,
a long time.
we're not going to talk about that.
For a long time.
Emily, who do you know in Kansas?
Woman by the name of Helen Weaver, who is all about like wellness weavers. And Kara, do you want to explain a little bit about what Helen does?
What town?
Kansas. I'm even blanking on the town. I didn't know the
I
town.
was going to say, honey, Kansas is the whole state.
Well, maybe she was talking about Kansas City, Kansas. Maybe
No,
she's
it's not
trying to say
Kansas
that.
City.
Waterville.
Whatever.
What the heck? Where is that?
It sounds
We lived in
fictional,
Kansas
doesn't
for a very long time, and I have no idea where that is. Okay, now I'm curious.
No, Adrian has to look it up.
That's got to be kind of like one of those things about, jumbo shrimp, Kansas and Waterville. It just doesn't make sense. So, yeah, Adrian and I knew each other when we were teenagers in Kansas. So, that was a day or two ago for
Seriously?
her.
I type in Waterville, Kansas, and it says, "Did you mean Kenyon Square Apartments?" That
That's
is
it.
Waterville.
That's it. So, but so tell me, what brought on this show? We enjoy that you guys are sending it here to the PAC channel, and we like putting it on. What brought on this show?
Kurt did.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Obviously.
Kurt got excited. He heard donkey, and he's like, "Pet show."
Marshall County. That's in Marshall County.
Really? Well,
As of the 2020 census, the population of the city was 658. No wonder we don't know it. Okay,
jeez.
got it. 656 in 2021. It went down to.
Oh,
Oh, jeez. Well, you learn something new every day.
Yes, absolutely, because this is zip code is 66548, so it can't be that far.
no. So, yeah.
So Kurt, you want to answer Zach's question?
You're saying I get to ask them the next question?
No, you get to answer his question.
Oh,
His question. Well, what question are we answering?
He
What,
wanted to know
what-
what brought on the
yeah. What gave you the idea to come up with a podcast for pets?
Well, I'll tell you what. Patty got herself in some trouble. So Emily and I, as friends, we came to the rescue and we helped her out of a little bit of trouble. And then you know, in our conversation, we were checking in. Hey, Patty, how's that Patty's Pampered Pet Sitting? She's like, I wish we had some more clients in the schedule. And I'm like, let's see what we can do to see if we can let more people in Phoenix know about that there's a wonderful service with a wonderful lady by the name of Patty. And the service is called Patty's Pampered Pet Sitting. So, in helping Patty out with social media and whatever we can do to help that collaboration business wise, I'm like, hey, you know what? You know, we had success one day talking to a gentleman by the name of Zach. And, you know, Zach is running this community pay it forward and he has this ACT program. And I'm like, I just told him to put a little P in there and then it's packed. And he liked the idea. So I'm like, Patty, how about you? Do you want to, you know, kind of build off of, we have the World of Ability podcast, and then you do the World of Pets podcast, and we can be all about, you know, this is brought to you by Patty's Pampered Pet Sitting. She's like, you know what? I think you got something there, Special K. So, so here we are. You know, we just kind of turned it over to Emily because, you know, once we do all of our idea generation, then it's like, all right, Emily takes care of everything, and here we are.
Sounds good. I love it. I think it's great. I know that I know how important pets are to people. My mom, the dog that Adrian was talking about, her little Pixie, you know, she's kind of,
You gotta find Pixie because I know she's scared wherever she's at right now because she's not right here.
yeah. So, but yeah, Pixie's a little toy poodle that you know, it's mom's little dog, and my parents are out surfing the world right now. You know, actually they're in Boise right at this moment, but they're on their way back, and so we've got this poodle right now that's just was so heartbroken for about 2.5 hours, and then she attached to Adrian, and now this animal is in our bed every night, and it's like, wow.
She was waiting at the door for me.
Ah, look, and look, you even brought in the other one too.
Yes, she was waiting at the door, wondering where.
Aw,
Oh,
So
Shaking.
yeah, she's camera shy.
No, she is absolutely not.
she is.
Oh,
she's wondering what's going on.
Jasper, oh, I'll get him.
come on.
Hold her. I'll get him.
Wait, why do I get
You.
this one?
He'll bite you.
Aw,
Yeah, we don't need any injuries on the show.
oh my word, look at how cute they are.
So yep, we got Pixadilly and the hippie Chihuahua.
Does not smell good enough to be kissing me. No, sir.
So
They're cute.
well, so yeah, we got like I said, we got ourselves
A zoo.
quite a zoo going. So you know, but
Do not step on
I'm
him. He will
loving
bite
every
you.
minute of it.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I'm loving every minute of it.
Oh yeah, yeah. So
She's not. How old is she now? Uh-oh, mom's gonna be mad. That thing's coming out of her ears.
it's okay. Probably the first thing they're gonna do is go and get it done again. So
He is hiding. Like
yeah,
he is.
he's shivering.
cold.
So oh, her nose is very cold on my arm. I'll tell you that. So
Oh,
so, but wow, she is just shivering. So yeah,
Yes,
Pixie.
she's mad.
I think Pixie's about 13, maybe
Really?
12, 13, something like that.
She stinks like she's dying.
Wow.
Yeah, she definitely
She
smells
does not
like
smell
she's-
good.
Yeah, poodles have. Patty, have you ever had a problem with poodle? Do you know that poodles and their teeth, that they have that terrible problem with them,
They're
keeping
not.
their teeth?
Well, it's chihuahuas, it's poodles, it's all of them that their teeth
So-
rot.
Because I mean, it's kind of funny. She has terrible time with like
Here,
small food, but our big dog food down here, she can take and grab one of those and she just loves it. But
She doesn't like
Okay.
soft food real well.
Here's the thing, block your ears, little one. You didn't hear this from me. My favorite are the rescues because no matter what the breed, they all have their challenges. You
Yeah,
know, each one of them has a certain something with their trait, with their breed that that their health is affected. In fact, I can't think of who the vet is right now, but there was a vet who recently wrote a book on the 10 breeds that he most likely does not want to have because each one of them has some kind of genetic whatever it might be. So yes, it doesn't surprise me about the teeth.
yeah.
That would go with the territory.
This one is a rescue. He's a pound rescue. This
Good.
little one, I don't know where she came from.
Actually, she's a like Paula's grandmother had mom, and both this one and my little brother has her sister, Pixie and Trixie,
Leave her
and
alone.
so yeah, and so they've been in their family's been in our family for quite a while now. So
And this one, he was so mean. He would like bite everybody, and anybody touched his tail, he'd get mean. So I never messed with him. I just pet him good night and bye. And now he's like right there. He will not leave my side. So I'm hoping when mom and dad come home that he will bond back with dad, because this is dad's dog. And I know he'll bond back with me if dad is gone before he is.
yeah.
Well, I had a Chihuahua. He lived to be like 13, 14 years of age, and he passed from heart issues. And he was almost all of mine have been rescues. And so he was in the back of, he was brought in on a hoarding situation into the shelter. And yes, and everybody was adopted except him.
Oh,
The reason Doogie wasn't adopted was he wouldn't go to anybody. So at the time I was volunteering at the shelter, and I said, well, let me just try with 25 years experience. Let me just try and see. And I crawled to the back of the kennel, and eventually it took like 2 or 3 times. He came over to me, and I was able to feed him out of my hands. They said, do you want him? So that's how I adopted Doogie. But yeah, he also went through a lot, with the shelter and everything. They weren't sure what they were going to do with him, So it just worked out. He died in his sleep. I miss him terribly, but yeah. So yeah, they're very interesting. The ones that get brought into the shelters, they especially need homes. They don't need to be left to the shelters.
Well, that's kind of funny. When we found Ghost, we
which
went.
stinks to high heaven right
Oh,
now.
he is that dog's dead from the inside. He's only 7 months old, but boy, I'll tell you, he's rotten on the inside out. But we went to go find a dog.
A little one. I wanted a lap dog because I had to leave my little Chihuahua behind. So I wanted a lap dog. We come home with that dog. But it's one of those things that I couldn't work at a shelter. I couldn't volunteer because I would bring everything home. I cannot stand to see somebody cowering in a corner. When I got my other one, I was told, do you really just go after the worst animal that's there? Like the sickest looking?
Mhm.
And yeah, I do.
Mhm.
Because who else is going to take care of it? Yes, I do.
He's got his nose on the microphone. Excuse us if you're
Come
hearing
here. Come here.
heavy breathing.
Hey, Jasper, come on. You
But
quit being
yeah, it's
Come
actually
here.
kind of, if you look at Ghost, he could be a lap dog. You'd just have to be all of our laps at the same time. So, he's and
Thank goodness he does not do that.
oh, whoa.
Come on.
So, but
It's not a big-
yeah, so, I think one of the other things that, we got, I mentioned them before, but Weld County Rescue Dogs up here is one of the, it's a fantastic program, and they're another one of our mission partners. What they do is they take in and they help you learn about your dog. And what they do is they don't teach just dogs, in general to become rescue dogs. They train your dog to use its special talents. They train you how to train your dog into becoming a rescue dog, whether that's anything from a search and rescue to a cadaver to a companion dog. And it's such a wonderful program because it's not only teaching the dog, it's teaching the person how to teach that dog, how to respond to the dog, how the dog, get the dog to respond to them. And it's such a great program. And Patty, that's one of the reasons why I really like what we're trying to do here, because these things, although, this one right now could just about, she's just about ready to shake me out of my shirt. But these things are,
Sleep.
they're so, they're so important. And like you said, they know you. If you're nervous, they're going to be nervous. If you've got dogs, you hear about it all the time, that a dog can tell you if your blood sugar's low. You can, there's,
Which one of ours did that the other night? Like, knew something was wrong with someone?
well, actually it was baby girl with Ghost. Ghost was having a nightmare, and baby girl, my dog, the greyhound, she jumped out, out from behind me and went over and started licking Ghost's face to wake him up because he was having a nightmare. And
Wow.
it was, and it's so funny because they did not like each other at first. They really did not like each other at first, but boy, that changed. And now they're just about inseparable. So,
And this one just cannot, he does not like the big dogs at all.
the only animal that this thing really likes is the cat.
Yeah.
And ever since the cat was a kitten and he was just, new to the house, I'm telling you, I thought the first time I came in, it was a cat and dog fight, but it wasn't. They were playing, and they still to this day.
Okay.
Boy, you need a bath dog.
Who?
Wow, this one.
Does not.
You let that butt fan hit your face.
Here, you nasty dog.
So, but they're great. They're fantastic. And I think pets are so important because they can really, Kurt, you can speak to this. We've got plenty of veterans around, that's one of our key programs is trying to help people out. And trying to team vets up with dogs that can just take and be a companion, because be there when other people won't be there for them anymore. It's that's the great thing about, what, you can have a terrible day, you can not want to talk to anybody, you can just want to sit there, crack open an adult beverage and relax. Your dog don't care. He's going to come and sit on your lap. She's going to come and sit on your lap, and she's going to go, what, you're going to be mad at me? And you're going to go, no.
The other side of that is I had a Facebook friend. I've never met him in person, but I did talk to him because he was having suicidal thoughts. He was sick. He was, and he had 2 dogs, and those 2 dogs were his life. That is all he lived for. He was a paraplegic, but still lived alone. And he did everything himself. He was awesome. But when he started going downhill, his neighbors would come bringing food. But he lived for those animals. And when he started having suicidal thoughts for about 6 months, we're like, you got to get some help. You really need to go get some help. He said, I can't leave these dogs. They're all I've got. Nobody's going to take care of them like I do. And I know these dogs' names and their birth dates, and because he was so attached to these dogs.
Mhm.
And if he would have had somebody like you that he could trust, he would have just handed him over and said, look, until I get out of rehab and I can get my mind straight, can you take care of these animals? And then I'll be back. He did end up finding somebody. I don't know that they were, of course, they were not professional anything. They were just neighbors. I don't know that they would take care of the animals like he does. I don't know that they would, do what he does, because they didn't take the time to find out, how do you take care of these animals? What do they eat? What do you do with them? What's their routine? And that was his, like, for 8 months, he wouldn't go because of that. Finally, he found somebody to take care of him, so he did go. He is now over his episode and he's okay and getting ready to get an apartment and he can get his dogs back. But, having somebody like you that would take care of him and he knew he could trust
Mhm.
that's a serious thing. You're not gonna, you'd rather die than leave him to just anybody.
Mhm. Thank you, Adrian. One thing I need to clarify though is I take care of the pets in their home.
Mhm.
So it isn't in your home pet sitting service. Only once in 28 years have I ever brought pets into my home. And it's centered around the hurricanes that went through Central Florida in 2004.
Mhm.
We had 50 pets at the house during 4 different storms.
Oh, no.
Okay.
It's
Oh,
too
Okay.
hard.
We're talking about a bird that was in a shower stall. We're talking about, I can't do it. I was very fortunate. My husband was able to. I held a flashlight. He was actually able to, during the worst part of the storm, he was able to inject the dog that needed insulin because the vet's office was closed.
Yeah, that's hard.
So, but short of that, I have never brought them into any living situation that I've been involved with, and definitely can't do it now. So,
I
but
can imagine
yes,
bringing anything with these guys because they're just so, they're scared of everything. Some of them are. The others are aggressive against anything, except maybe a bird or whatever. Like he said, we have the rats. They're his son's rats. One of them is amazing and really sweet. The other one's a real butt and he will bite you. I didn't know this till after I was hand feeding the stupid thing. He didn't
Uh-oh.
tell me that it bit. It never did bite me, but I'm not sticking my hand in there again. It's not going to happen. But
And-
I make sure they're fed. That's it.
and then also I've taken care of rats, I've taken care of mice, I've taken care of gerbils.
Mhm.
I've taken care of hamsters, I've taken care of a chinchilla, rabbits. I've taken care of iguanas,
Oh, I love those things. Yes.
and came close to taking care of the bearded dragons.
Mhm.
Again,
Dragons
no
are so much easier than iguanas.
They are not.
They are.
They are not.
Oh, yeah, they are.
No. Depends on their personality. Just like people, they all have personalities. And the ones I've met, no.
And I had to specify that I don't do snakes because usually the times that I have been asked to take care of snakes, I've heard about the snakes on the way out the door. As I'm exiting the interview, I'm hearing things like, "And by the way, can you take care of my snake for me?" No.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Yep.
That is the interview right there, unless you can find somebody else to take care of the snake for you.
That's kind of funny. That's almost like anybody that we introduce into the house. They'll come walking up to the cage and they'll be like, "Oh, what's in here?" And I'll be like, "It's my tarantula." They'll leave the house real quick.
Yeah.
And especially when they see her. So she's
She's
Yeah.
what? How many years? His son is 22,
21.
21. And this was his kindergarten pet. Oh, This thing lives forever and it's living to torture me. That's the
And-
only reason it's alive.
And she and his kindergarten teacher had it for at least 5 years prior to that. So, yeah, she is.
I will admit, I've never taken care of a tarantula before. I have taken care of sugar gliders.
Oh,
But-
those are so sweet. No, tarantulas, you drop a cricket in there once a week, give them water, they don't care. They're done. But to me, I think that is just such a harsh existence for them because I lived in New Mexico where they were wild. So to live in a tank, to me, that's just not. But if you turn this one wild, she couldn't live. That's all she's known. She's at least how many years now?
Hmm.
What did we decide? She's 18?
Yeah, at least.
Wow.
And they'll live up to 30 years old.
The hell they will.
She's got a ways to go yet.
It will not. I promise you, it will not.
So,
You can live in the bathroom in the dark, but it's no.
Yeah, Adrian had her way.
battery in the dog.
It's bigger than his hand. Like it sits
Yeah,
on
I
his
know,
nose.
so I've seen Harry before.
No. Mm-mm. Nope. Nope. It stays in the cage. That's great. He picks it up once in a while. That's great. Nope. I'll give it water over the top of the cage. Nope. Mm-mm. That's it. Nope.
Emily, on that note, do you have any questions?
Poor Emily knows this whole story. She knows what we got.
Well, with the exception of the few extra animals in the last however long, but
Only in the last couple of months or so.
Yeah.
it's
Since
been
July.
for over-
Well, 1 month on one of them. Yeah, if that.
Oh, it's been a
I'm
month.
thankful. I'm thankful for this interview because I'm getting to know a whole lot more about Zach than could possibly know on Blitzer. But I tell you what, again, I'm going to repeat for the third time. Blitzer is a wonderful, wonderful platform that meets on Tuesdays, 4 o'clock Phoenix time. So check your schedules, but get on blitzer.com. Zach sent that information in the chat. And yeah, it's well worth attending.
Have you been on there?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's my Tuesday meeting.
I've never
That's
seen it.
that Tuesday at 4 o'clock that I really try to always get back.
Is it 4 o'clock your time?
Yeah, it's 4 o'clock for us now too.
That's when I'm cooking. Okay.
So, yeah, but, yeah, Blitzer's a lot of fun. So, it's, one-on-ones up to 10, one-on-ones that, it's a great team,
One that rotates?
Mhm.
Okay, okay. I've seen
So-
you do it.
but
So
well, we
Emily, what are the
appreciate-
questions you have?
Yeah, Kurt, did you have a question? Or are you just gonna sit there and try to look all pretty?
He's just gonna sit
Is it
there and look like
working?
a picture.
Well, kind of, but, I wasn't gonna say anything.
Okay, there is nothing pretty about this dog and how he smells, and I gotta
Oh,
get
man.
rid of him.
Yeah, he's gotta go.
Oh,
You know what? They have such a thing as a sponge bath for dogs. You can get these body wipes if that's an issue.
Oh, this is his gastral. He's got a nice presence to him, let's put it that way. So right now his food is not agreeing with him or our nose right now. So he's yeah, he's something, all right. So, but
On
Yeah,
that
so-
note, Kurt, what questions do you have for us?
Well, we're here at the World of Pets. We're talking about Patty's Pampered Pet Sitting and the concept of pet sitting. I mean, the general question for people watching and listening is, who do you know in Phoenix? Because the idea is, if you like what you see here, think about who you know in Phoenix and see if we can find out if they're in need of a pet sitter at any point in time. But in terms for our conversation here, I don't know. I mean, there's other things to explore in terms of how we take care of our pets, how we wash our pets, how we, walk our pets, how they get enough exercise, the benefit a pet has to us in terms of helping us be more active. than we would without our pets. And, you know, there's idea of, you know, therapy pets and comfort animals and, you know, so we could really explore the gamut. But I guess one question, Patty, is how long are we going to keep going? We've had the power hour already. Are you going for extra innings or what are we doing?
Well, I will tell you that this is, out of the interviews that I have participated in, this is really the best interview. I mean, the conversation just, I'm hoping, you know, everybody's experiencing this, but the conversation is just flowing.
Yeah.
And I just happened to think of something. You were talking about the GI issue with your pup, with Ghost. They make charcoal for dogs.
Okay.
And it's supposed to help with the GI tract. So, and I think, you know, most of the stores carry it, I'm guessing. But they make charcoal that seems to help.
Something's
So
got
that-
to, because he smells awful, and it's the same smell constantly, no matter what we do. We try giving him the high-end dog food. It's not helping.
Oh, and he doesn't want it.
Yeah.
He just doesn't want, you know, he's like,
And he will,
well, real food tastes like crap. I don't want that stuff, you
and
know?
something about it, he's missing something because he eats the other dog's feces. So there's something he's missing. And
Is
They also make something, Adrian, they also make something to help when they eat the feces. There's something, a product out there that helps with that as well. Some people have had luck with it for their dogs, some haven't. So it just depends on that. Also, when you give them different types of dog food, are you just automatically switching from one brand to the other? Okay.
now
making
we're
sure.
trying, they said like, some may have a problem with like chicken. So you need to switch to something that's beef and they'll do better, or, you know, vice versa. There's something in it that they're not having a good reaction to.
Yeah, but there's
I
also a
heard-
gradual mixture,
Okay.
you know, mixing it from one to another. Yeah, no.
Because that can cause a GI upset is when you take one brand of food and then switch it over to another. I found that out with Magic. You know, I had tried switching a brand of dog food and then the vet said, no, cat food rather. And the vet said, no, that was not a good thing to do, that it had to be gradual, as you're saying, Zach. Yeah, you can't just switch from one to the other.
They did
So,
tell
yeah.
us that a little at a time until it's all, you know, the other food. Now, it's a little harder with us because mom and dad feed them a certain food. And then we feed these guys a certain food. So they go up there and start eating their food. They come down here and start eating our food. We're just going to have to get on you know, we're going to have to do it where it doesn't happen like that, because this is not working. It's just not.
So,
Well, hopefully you'll find something that helps the charcoal. Some people have had luck with that for their dogs. And also there's something for the feces. Some have had luck with that for their dogs as well. So just something to keep in mind, you know. You might ask the vet about those products, or go to or call a store and ask them if they sell it or what their suggestions might be as well. I'm not a vet. I don't play one on TV, folks. Don't take everything I say and, you know, and assume that I know what I'm talking about. You know, these are just things over time that, you know, I've learned. So
That's okay. My dad was a vet and he like did hysterectomies and whatever else in our garage. It was that clean. But he gave our dog like raw meat, and it lived to 14 years old with a cancerous tumor on its, like the top of its mouth. But you know, every dog is different. So you know, you can't just go with a guideline that, oh yeah, this is what the vet said. Got to try different things.
do you have honey on your leg or something? What is going on?
I don't know. He needs salt apparently, and that's okay. That's okay.
So,
did we lose Kurt in this discussion? Is Kurt gone permanently?
No, he's still
Emily?
connected. He's still connected.
He's still connected. Kurt, are you still there?
He's connected, he just has his video off.
Okay.
So,
He's smart.
well, we got to get going. We got to get our animals to bed. So, but I want to thank you guys for allowing us to come in and please do us a favor, check out communitypayitforward.us and see what we got going on here. Before too long, you're going to see Patty joining us and she's going to be up there and we're going to be trying to, just look, we're just trying to help people. And, it's a very simple thing. You take and you shop, click a picture and pick the cause. So shop, click and pick. So very easy to do.
And I'm gonna put her out there on our paranormal stuff because it's when it gets warm, everybody's gonna be wanting to go ghost hunting and they're gonna not want to leave their pets to just anybody. So
Oh, I was gonna ask you if you were putting me on paranormal because you think I've seen a ghost or something. Actually, my husband, God rest his soul, my husband actually did see a ghost in Florida. I didn't see him, and what was funny was the bathroom was adjacent to the hall, like, you entered, and he was in the office, and he actually did see this guy, and he thinks it was the former owner of the house.
oh well. If he
Yeah.
thinks that's what it was and that was his first reaction, that is probably what it was.
Yeah, I didn't see him though. That was the funny thing is this person had to have walked, this ghost had to have walked right by me, and I didn't see him.
It's all in if they want you to see them, if they're wanting to talk to you. There's lots of times that he gets these feelings and I do not. And I'm a medium. I have to try to tune in.
I'm
Actually-
extra large.
Oh, I have to actually tune in to be able to talk to something. I can't just, oh yeah, they're right here. No, I turn it off. And then when I'm ready to turn it on, I turn it on. But this house is absolutely full of them.
Hmm.
Why are you licking my toes? Get off me. Oh, fun. Jasper.
She just hit me because it's truthfully I'm double extra large. So,
Jasper,
But-
you have to stop. You really have to stop.
yes, I want to thank you guys for allowing us to
Well,
join you.
before we leave, Zach, if somebody wants to contact you, how do they go about doing so?
970-909-0751. It's 970-909-0751.
Emily, can you put that in the chat, please?
Sure, yeah, I can do that.
You need to
Before
stop
we hang up here.
licking my face, my feet, and my hands. I have nothing on me that you need. Nothing.
So I wanted to thank you guys as well. Both of you are welcome to come back anytime. We're here every Monday at the same time. So anytime you guys like to come back.
We'll see what we can do. We have to
with
show
your
on.
zoo, anytime you come back with your zoo.
Oh God.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Jeez.
We'll come back
It's gonna
once we.
smell better.
Yeah, we gotta plug the one. So, but we thank you guys very much. Patty, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Yeah, it's BLI TZR. Okay, so Blitzer,
Oh,
BLI
okay.
TZR. So, and if you misspell it, it's gonna take you to other things. So, man, that dog is rank. All right, we gotta go now. So, but
Seriously.
so, but thank you guys so very much. Have a great day.
Thank you.
too.
Thank you for being here.
No problem. Bye.
Bye.
Okay. So
Are we still being recorded, Emily?
yes, we are. Do you have any other anything else you wanted to add, or should we close up here?
Well, let's close with the, let's close with the song, of course, since I want to wish everybody a happy Hanukkah this week, and then Merry Christmas come Sunday. And since we won't be seeing each other before, since I won't be seeing the viewers before, we won't be seeing the viewers before Sunday. Let's close with the song here. Kurt, are you still there? Or has he disappeared?
He just has his video off. I think he's connected though.
Okay. So I will sing a Este Fidelis. Adeste Fidelis, Leti Triumphatis, Benite, Benite, in Bethlehem. And there's two words there that I don't know what they are. Regem Angeloro, Benite adoremus, Benite adoremus, Benite adoremus. Domino. Well, thank you for allowing me to be here.
You're welcome.
And after we end the recording, hang around for a couple minutes, please. And if we can get Kurt back, I would appreciate it.
Okay, I would like to thank everybody who was on here tonight. Also a special thanks to underline Zach, but to Jay and the Disability Channel and Marcus Hart with Transform You Media for allowing us to have our show on their platforms. Would encourage everybody to check out our World of Pet social media pages and groups, LinkedIn and Facebook, and like, comment, share, and so on. And if anybody has any questions, Freddie, would you like to give your any contact info for you? If anybody listens to contact.
Yes, thank you. My phone number, and I'll put that in the chat as well, is 321-951-3940. That is a local Phoenix number. And if you want to check out my website, it is and if you want an email address, it is
so the website is pattysPampered.com.
yes, correct.
And the email is pattyshouse@gmail.com.
Correct, yes.
For anybody who's looking to contact me, they can go to me at 715-303-9835. Or Kurt at 262-372-1754. Or abilitymke@gmail.com. So we would our next show, I believe, is going to be next week, or otherwise for sure in beginning of January.
We'll need to leave that open for next week. if all goes well, I'll be pet sitting. So we'll need to leave that open as to whether we'll be doing it next.
Are those for sure will be back in January for the show being
Yes.
back? Um,
And hopefully I'll be bringing in a guest speaker in January.
that would be cool. Cause
Mhm.
so, try to wish everybody a safe and happy holiday. And so everybody stay healthy and happy.